In a world saturated with notifications, endless feeds, and the constant hum of digital activity, the idea of digital minimalism stands as a quiet but powerful call to reclaim our time, attention, and sense of well-being. Digital minimalism is not simply about using fewer apps or spending less time on screens. It's a deliberate philosophy, a way of living that prioritizes intention over impulse, quality over quantity, and presence over distraction. The digital revolution has brought remarkable advances. It's easier than ever to connect with distant friends, learn new skills, and access a world of information. Yet, with these benefits come new challenges. The temptation to scroll mindlessly, the pressure to be constantly available, the subtle erosion of our focus. We are inundated with pings, likes, and alerts, all vying for our most precious resource, our attention. Digital minimalism invites us to step back and ask, what value does technology truly bring to our lives? Which tools serve our deepest goals, and which simply fill the silence? At its core, digital minimalism is about making conscious choices, crafting a digital environment that supports, rather than sabotages our well-being. Imagine beginning your day without immediately reaching for your phone. The morning air is still and your mind is clear. You move through your routines with purpose, unhurried by the demands of emails or the lure of endless headlines. Breakfast is a time for nourishment and reflection, not a hurried ritual performed with one eye on a glowing screen. Already, you sense a difference, a spaciousness, a sense of agency over how your day unfolds. To understand digital minimalism, it's helpful to explore its foundational principles. The first is intentionality. Rather than adopting every new app or platform, digital minimalists assess each tool carefully. They ask, does this technology align with my values? Does it enhance my life, or simply consume my time? This mindset shifts technology from being the master to being the servant, a tool deployed with purpose, not a force that dictates our habits. The second principle is quality over quantity. Digital minimalists seek depth, not breadth, in their online interactions. They focus on meaningful connections, thoughtful conversations, and high-quality content. Instead of scattering their attention across dozens of platforms, they choose a few that truly matter, cultivating richer experiences and relationships. A third principle is solitude and reflection. In a world of constant connectivity, moments of quiet are rare but essential. Digital minimalists intentionally carve out time for undistracted thought, creative pursuits, and the simple pleasures of the offline world. This might mean taking a long walk without earbuds, reading a physical book, or simply sitting in silence, allowing the mind to wander and recharge. The journey to digital minimalism often begins with an honest inventory of one's digital life. Consider your devices, your apps, your online habits. How much of your time is spent reactively, responding to notifications, scrolling through feeds, checking messages out of habit rather than need? Which activities leave you feeling energized and fulfilled, and which leave you depleted or anxious? For many, the answer is sobering. The average person checks their phone dozens, even hundreds of times a day. Hours are lost to social media, news sites, and endless notifications. The result is a fragmented mind, a constant sense of urgency, and a diminished capacity for deep work or meaningful connection. Digital minimalism suggests a radical, yet profoundly liberating alternative: a digital declutter. This process involves stepping back from optional technologies for a set period, perhaps 30 days. During this time, you focus on activities that matter most, rediscovering hobbies, relationships, and pursuits that bring genuine satisfaction. When you reintroduce technology, you do so with intention, keeping only what truly adds value. The effects of digital decluttering are often transformative. Freed from the compulsion to check devices, people report increased focus, creativity, and presence. Relationships deepen as conversations become more attentive and meaningful. Old passions are rekindled, from painting and writing to gardening and outdoor adventures. Life regains a sense of richness and texture that constant digital distraction had dulled. Of course, digital minimalism is not about rejecting technology altogether. It's about setting boundaries, using tools with discernment, and resisting the pull of mindless consumption. It's about replacing passive scrolling with active living, choosing experiences that engage the senses and nourish the soul. Consider the impact on relationships. In a digitally saturated world, it's easy for interactions to become shallow. Likes and emojis replacing real conversation, group chats substituting for face-to-face connection. Digital minimalists strive for authenticity. They prioritize phone calls or in-person meetings over texts, and when they're with others, they put devices aside, signaling that the person in front of them deserves their full attention. In doing so, they rediscover the joy of undivided presence, the laughter, the subtle cues, the deep listening that builds trust and intimacy. Another key area is work and productivity. The modern workplace is a battleground of distractions, emails, instant messages, and the expectation of constant availability. Digital minimalists challenge this norm. They batch communications, set clear boundaries around their time, and create environments that support focused, uninterrupted work. By doing so, they unlock higher levels of creativity and effectiveness, producing work that is not only more efficient, but also more fulfilling. The benefits extend beyond the personal to the communal. When individuals embrace digital minimalism, they often inspire those around them to do the same. Families establish device-free dinners, workplaces adopt norms that respect deep work, communities organize events that foster real connection. The ripple effect is a culture that values presence over distraction, depth over superficiality. Yet the path is not always easy. Digital tools are designed to be addictive, leveraging psychological triggers to keep us engaged. Social media platforms, news sites, and games are engineered to capture and monetize our attention. Resisting these forces requires self-awareness and discipline. It means being honest about our vulnerabilities, recognizing when we're using technology as a crutch for boredom, loneliness, or anxiety. Digital minimalists develop strategies to manage these challenges. They turn off non-essential notifications, uninstall apps that serve no real purpose, and set designated times for checking email or social media. Some adopt the phone-free bedroom rule, ensuring that mornings and evenings are reserved for reflection and rest, not digital consumption. Others embrace the power of analog tools, paper notebooks, printed books, face-to-face conversations, as antidotes to digital overload. A crucial part of the digital minimalist mindset is continual reflection. Technology and its role in our lives are constantly evolving. What serves us well today may become a distraction tomorrow. Regular check-ins, monthly, quarterly, or annually, help ensure that our digital habits remain aligned with our values and goals. For parents, digital minimalism presents both a challenge and an opportunity. Children growing up today are immersed in screens from an early age, often before they can read or write. Digital minimalists advocate for mindful modeling, demonstrating healthy tech habits, encouraging outdoor play and creative pursuits, and fostering a home environment where devices are tools, not masters. Family rules, such as device-free mealtimes or tech-free weekends, help establish shared expectations and create space for connection. Education is another area ripe for digital minimalism. While technology can enhance learning, it can also fragment attention and reduce the depth of understanding. Teachers and students alike benefit from strategies that encourage focus, such as limiting multitasking, taking regular breaks from screens, and engaging in hands-on, experiential learning. On a societal level, the rise of digital minimalism reflects a growing awareness of the costs of constant connectivity. Researchers have linked excessive screen time to increased rates of anxiety, depression, and sleep disturbance. Attention spans are shrinking, and the ability to engage in deep, sustained thought is under threat. In response, movements are emerging that promote digital well-being, advocating for policies and practices that support healthy tech use. Yet, digital minimalism is not a one-size-fits-all solution. Each person's needs, values, and circumstances are unique. What matters is not adherence to a rigid set of rules, but a commitment to intentional living. For some, this might mean deleting all social media. For others, It's about curating their feeds, unfollowing sources of negativity, and engaging only with content that uplifts and informs. For those just beginning the journey, small steps can make a big difference. Start by tracking your digital habits. How much time do you spend on various activities? Which ones add value and which drain your energy? Experiment with removing one app or setting aside device-free periods each day. Notice how your mood, focus, and relationships shift. Over time, these small changes add up. What begins as a quest for less screen time becomes a deeper exploration of what truly matters. Freed from constant distraction, you have more space for creativity, for meaningful work, for the people and passions that bring your life purpose. The philosophy of digital minimalism is ultimately about reclaiming your agency. It's about living life on your own terms, rather than by the default settings of an attention economy. It's about being present for the moments that matter, whether that's a conversation with a friend, a walk in the woods, or the quiet satisfaction of creating something with your own hands. As you move forward, consider the legacy you want to leave, not just in your digital footprint, but in your daily presence. What do you want to remember years from now? The endless scroll of headlines and status updates, or the laughter of loved ones, the satisfaction of deep work, the beauty of a world experienced firsthand? Digital minimalism is not about deprivation, but about abundance. The abundance that comes from focus, intention, and authentic connection. It's an invitation to design a life that reflects your highest values, to use technology as a tool rather than letting it use you. In a culture that prizes busyness and constant connectivity, the choice to pare back, to savor, to be present, is an act of quiet rebellion. It's a declaration that your attention is too valuable to be squandered, your days too precious to be filled with noise. So take a moment to pause, to breathe, to consider how you might bring more intention to your digital life. What might you gain by letting go of what no longer serves you? What might you discover in the quiet spaces that remain? The journey of digital minimalism is not a destination, but a continual process, a daily practice of choosing what matters most. As you walk this path, you may find that the greatest freedom is not in having more, but in needing less. And in that freedom, you reclaim the most valuable gift of all, your attention, your presence, your life.